Welcome to this training where we are going to have a really real, honest conversation on what it actually takes to conquer binge eating. I'm going to talk about the truth, the realness, the rawness. We're going to get honest in this conversation today. Because why is it, I want to talk about why is it that somebody who has been binging for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, why is it that someone who struggles for a longer period of time can actually conquer binge eating much faster than someone who has only been binging for the past year? Why is it that two people can learn the exact same strategies, the exact same tools, but one person conquers much faster than somebody else? Why is it that some people conquer binge eating much faster than other people? Like, there has to be something about this. And a lot of people know what to do. If you are here inside of this group, like if you're a client of mine, like you know what to do. So the problem is not, I don't know what to do. You know what to do to stop your binge eating. You have all of the tools. And if you don't have the tools, well then get inside of my programs and actually learn the tools. But I'm not speaking to that person. I'm speaking to you listening right now, live or the replay, where you know what to do. But there is a disconnect between actually implementing what you already know. The reason why two people can learn the exact same tools, the exact same strategies, but one person conquers binge eating much faster than someone else with the exact same tools, the exact same strategies, is that this person over here implemented the tools and this person over here either sometimes implements the tools or they're having there's a disconnect between actually doing what they know that they need to do. So the problem is not, I don't know what to do. The problem is, I know what to do, but I find myself sometimes not implementing the tools of what I already know. And sometimes that can be even more frustrating. I used to say to myself, I'm like, sometimes I wish, like on my journey, I used to say to myself, sometimes I wish I was almost oblivious and I didn't know what the tools were, because then I can actually have a real logical reason for why I wasn't conquering. But when you know the tools, it becomes even more frustrating, because it's like, now I know what to do and I'm not implementing it, and that is even more frustrating. The tools are right at your fingertips. If you are listening to this right now, I guarantee you that you know that you should not be giving into your urges. I guarantee that you know that you should be stopping when you're full. I guarantee you that you know that you should not be comparing your body to other people's bodies or stressing over the way that you look. But you find yourself saying just one last time. You find yourself saying, oh, but the food is just so good. Oh, but I normally don't eat this food. Oh, but like she looks so amazing. And then there is a disconnect between, okay, well, I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it. That is the frustrating part. But that's what separates somebody who conquers binge eating much faster. They implement the tools. It's not just logic. It's not just like logically I know what to do. Logically I know I need to stop giving into my urges. They actually stop giving into their urges. It's not logically I know that I need to stop when I'm full. Everybody knows that they need to stop eating when they're full. Everybody knows I shouldn't give in to my urges. But it's the person that actually implements what it is that they actually know they are gonna, of course, conquer binge eating much faster. Now, this is not a worthiness thing. This is not, she's more worthy, she's better than me. This is not a worthiness thing. It is just the truth that somebody who implements the tools of what they know, they are going to conquer binge eating much faster. Now, I want to talk about why you might have a difficult time actually implementing the tools. And I'm going to talk about 3 different things. So maybe you use the tools at the beginning, and then you maybe stopped using the tools. I see this happen quite a lot. Maybe you sometimes use the tool, so there's like a little sprinkle. It's like sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And maybe you're just having a very difficult time just implementing in general. And by the way, if you are here with me, I see Leela is watching. I can't see the other person who's watching, but say hello if you are watching live with me, or comment replay if you are catching on the replay. Okay, the first reason why you know what to do, but there's a part of you that actually isn't implementing what you already know. Number 1 is that your identity is still tied into, I am this emotional binge eater. This is who I am. I talk about this all the time. Your actions, your behaviors reflect the identity that you create for yourself. So if you are constantly telling yourself, this is who I am this binge eater, I am this overeater, I am a mindless snacker, I emotionally eat, what ends up happening is when you know intellectually, I should not give in to my urges, your brain says, but that's who I am. I always give in. It feels challenging. It feels hard, like I have to give in. When you logically know I should stop eating when I'm full, you say to yourself, but that's not who I am. I'm somebody that always overeats. Your identity reflects the behaviors you engage in. And it almost feels off. It feels worse when you do the thing that you're not normally used to. So even when you stop when you're full, you're like surprised. You're like, whoa, wait, that felt weird. That's probably just a fluke. When you don't give in to an urge, you're like, well, that feels weird because normally I give in all the time. So your identity reflects the behaviors that you engage in. And so you can intellectually know what to do, but there's a disconnect between actually implementing it because you haven't actually shifted your identity out of binge eating. That's the first one. The second one, you are still thinking that conquering binge eating, being able to stop when you're full, no longer overeating, no longer mindlessly snacking in the evening, being able to, travel and eat with ease, you're still seeing that as that feels very far away. Like, okay, I believe that it's possible, but like not yet. It still feels far away. And when something feels far away from you, it's like out of reach, it's like in the distance, like one day, that's not motivating. You think to yourself, well, what's the point of not giving into this urge because, well, another urge is going to be around the corner. Well, what's the point of stopping when I'm full today? Because honestly, this weekend, we're going to order pizza and I'm probably going to overeat. So when something feels very far away, when conquering binge eating feels very far away, when feeling amazing in your own skin feels very far away, you don't take the action in alignment with the result that you want, which then actually pushes it further away. So it no longer just feels far away, it actually becomes farther away. You perpetuate this cycle. So at first, it's like, being able to like not think about food, that feels far away. Being able to just like effortlessly stop when I'm full at every single meal, feels far away. Being able to feel so damn good in my own skin, that feels very far away. So then because it feels far away, you don't take action in alignment with the results that you're desiring, which actually literally makes it further away. It doesn't just feel further away, it actually becomes further away because then you don't stop eating when you're full. You don't not give in to the urge. You don't change how you're speaking to yourself, and it actually does feel further away. Now, the third reason why you know all the things of what to do, but there's a disconnect between actually implementing, is you don't believe that you don't have a long-term mindset. So you don't actually believe that not giving into a session of overeating or mindless snacking or binge eating today is going to support you. You're like, oh, it's just one time. Like that, not giving into one urge isn't going to be a big difference. Stopping when I'm full at this one meal, it's not going to make a big difference. Choosing to not mindlessly snack in the evening tonight, just this one night, well, that's not going to make a big difference because I'm going to do it tomorrow and I'm going to probably do it the next day. You're not seeing it as this one time, this one session, this one urge matters. But it actually does. Everything is adding up. You thinking it's not gonna make that big of a difference if I don't give into an urge today. It will. Every single time that you don't give into an urge, you're making progress. Every time you feel this urge to mindlessly snack and you know that you are not hungry and you choose to not give in, you are one step closer. Every time you're at the restaurant and the food is just so good and you say to yourself, I know the food is delicious, but I'm gonna stop because I am full. It makes a difference, but you don't have a long-term mindset to think that it's gonna make a difference in the long term. You're so focused in the now. What feels good in this moment? What feels good in this moment? But everything that you're doing is adding up. I like to even think of the analogy of like a toilet paper roll. You know, and like you have the toilet paper roll in your bathroom. And every time you go to the bathroom, you don't really notice it getting smaller and smaller and smaller, the roll. But eventually you get to the bathroom one day and you're like, oh, need to refill it. How did that just happen? It all added up. Every time you went to the bathroom, it just added up. And so every time that you don't give into an urge, it's adding up. And before you know it, it can be 9 o'clock at night and you have no desire. You're not even thinking about food. Like it's not even a thought in your mind, but that will happen. But you're like, but that's not my reality right now. That's not my reality right now. So I'm going to keep giving in. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to feel so damn good in your own skin. But you're like, well, there's no point of speaking positively to myself today because I don't feel the best in my own skin today. But that's why you're not where you want to be yet. So it's not about I'm only going to take action if I see a result. It's not, oh, well, there's no point of doing this one thing today because it's not going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference. You have to shift your mindset. You have to shift your mindset. The mindset of there's no point of not giving in to an urge today because I'm probably going to have one tomorrow. That's what's keeping you stuck. The mindset of there's no point of leaving food on my plate today because I'm probably going to overeat this weekend when we go out for dinner. That's what's keeping you stuck. That's what's preventing you from actually taking the action and then getting the result. Again, there can be two people. Two people know the exact same tools. But one person says every urge matters. This session of, I can choose whether I'm going to overeat or not, and I'm going to choose to not overeat. They're going to get further so much faster than this one person that's like, it's not going to make that big of a deal. I'm just going to give it one more time. Oh, but like the food is so good, so I'm going to overeat one more time. That's what makes it feel so much farther away. So the problem isn't that you need more tools. You know what to do. Let's be so freaking honest. You know what to do. And I've worked with so many clients at this point. It's not that there is this magical solution of like, here you go. Like, don't get me wrong. My root and rewire process, it's proven, it's worked. Hundreds of clients have gone through this. They're like, Lorna, I'm not binging anymore. Like, maybe I'm doing a little bit of overeating, but like, I can't remember that. Like, I'm not like going through these out of body experiences anymore. Like, this process works. But you know what to do. But what I often see is that there is a disconnect between I know what to do and I'm actually implementing it. That is what I see. And I even see this with my high-level clients. And this is actually why people come to work with me in mentorship, in the academy, where you actually receive mentorship coaching with me. I'm going to explain the difference between coaching and mentorship in a second. But a lot of the times people come to work with me in my higher level spaces, which is the academy, and I just rebranded it. It's called your Binge Free Life Academy, because at first it was called the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. And listen, my clients aren't ditching diets. They did that months and years ago. Now they're like ready for their binge free life. So it's actually called your Binge Free Life Academy. But people come to work with me in the academy to get mentorship coaching from me. It's not that they don't know what to do. But it's a matter of, okay, Lorna, I know that I shouldn't give in to my urge, but I feel like I still have to give in. I know that at 9 o'clock at night, I shouldn't be mindlessly snacking, but like, why am I still so excited about food? Okay, I know that when I'm stressed out, I shouldn't just turn to food for comfort, but like, why is it still happening? It's a mentorship level conversation where I can actually see the gaps. I can help you shift your mindset. I can help you rewire your brain. I was actually just on a coaching call we had our academy coaching call. These calls are my absolute favorite. We have incredible conversations, and one client came on and she said like, she did this session of eating and it didn't feel like it was the same as in the past. Like maybe, she's had a little bit of overeating here and there, but this one session felt different. And she was kind of like, angry, like, oh, like I'm kind of mad at myself. And I shifted her perspective within 5 seconds on a call that changed the trajectory of where she's going. So instead, she came to me thinking like she's going backwards. And I shifted her mindset. This is what we do in mentorship. I shifted her perspective and I said, can you see this as I'm actually making so much progress because I can't remember the last time that I did a session of eating like that. And she was mind blown. She was like, I did not think of it that way. If she didn't have mentorship coaching with me and she was, just in a program or just trying to do this on her own, it's like she would have seen that as like, I'm reverting backwards. And then that's what makes you sabotage because you feel like you're going backwards. Versus I shifted her perspective within a few minutes and I said, listen, this session of overeating, or maybe it was a binge, whatever it was, but instead of looking at it as like, oh, I'm going backwards, can you see that that's actually progress? Because you cannot remember the last time that you had a session of eating like that. And she was like, that is so true. This is mentorship coaching. I'm going to help you implement. I'm going to help you shift your mindset. I'm going to help you see things differently. That's the difference between people who skyrocket their results and conquer much faster. Knowing the tools is not enough. Knowing what to do to stop binge eating is not going to help you conquer. That's one piece of the puzzle. And again, if you don't know the tools, if you're like, Lorna, what the heck, like what tools are you talking about? Get inside of the membership, join Conquer, get inside, learn the tools. I have an entire portal of trainings. There's trainings on everything that you need to know. How to eliminate your urges, how to be able to stop eating when you're full, how to process your emotions without turning to food, how to stop mindlessly snacking in the evening. There's everything you need to know is inside the portal. But that's not enough. You need to actually, one, implement the tools. And then number two, you got to shift your mindset, aka you got to rewire your brain. And having a mentor, me, who can shift your perspective is going to make all the difference. So coaching and mentorship is different. Coaching is like my programs, right? It's like Okay, I'm going to explain to you the difference between a craving and an urge. Let's say, for example. But mentorship is, okay, Lorna, so it was 7:00 at night and we just finished up dinner. And as I was putting away, the dishes, I wanted something sweet and I didn't really know if it was a craving or an urge. So then I gave in. And can you help me figure it out? Like, was that an urge or was that a craving? Real-time coaching, real-time mentorship. Then we get on the call and I was like, oh, actually, that was a true craving. Oh, actually, that was boredom snacking. Oh, actually, that was an urge to binge. And then you can better implement the tools next time because you've actually received the wisdom. So coaching is like, here's the tools, like, here's how to not give in to your urge. That's important. But what's actually going to help you implement the tools is let's have a conversation about this. Because I have clients that come to me, they're like, Lorna, I know I shouldn't give in to my urges. Like, why do I still keep giving in? Well, there could be a fear of a loss of identity of like, who am I going to be without binge eating? There is this love-hate relationship. Like, I don't even know if I want to give it up. There's this fear of success, of actually finding a solution that actually works. These are mentorship conversations that I have in my higher level academy that you can't get anywhere else. It's not just, this is the difference between a craving and an urge. Logically that makes sense. But how about at 7:00 at night and you had some chocolate? Do you know if that was a craving or an urge? How about when it's Saturday, or like one of my clients, she's going on vacation, and we had a conversation today about how to actually prepare herself to implement the tools that she already knows, right? So it's a different level of conversation. Knowing the tools is important. You need to know the tools. But the people that I'm speaking to on this training right now, you know the tools. You're like, I know what to do. But there might actually be a disconnect where you're like, I know that I shouldn't use food when I'm stressed, but I'm still using food when I'm stressed. I know I shouldn't give in to my urge, but I find myself still saying F it. Well, we have to have a deeper level conversation. What's actually going on? What's the identity behind it? Let's shift your perspective on this. That is actually mentorship coaching. You don't need more tools. Stop believing that there is some like magical solution, like there's something else that I need to learn. There's always things that you're going to learn. I'm always going to provide you with new teachings, new trainings. That is so important. But the most important thing is to actually get mentorship coaching for where it is, for where you're at on your journey, in your specific journey, in your specific situation. Like I said, when it's 8:00 at night, when you just went to a social event over the weekend and you're like, how do I not get so excited about special food that I haven't had in a really long time? Let's have a conversation. It's not just logically, this is what to do, because you know what to do, but why are you not implementing it? There's something else. And for, again, a lot of people, it's like, I don't want to lose binge eating. It's this love-hate relationship. It's this safe, comfortable, even though it's an uncomfortable feeling, it's a safe, familiar feeling of like, but this is what I do every night. Yeah, but like food's just what makes me happy. It's a safe, familiar, comfortable feeling. And we have to work through that. We have to work through those limiting beliefs. We have to work through those identity shifts. And that's what actually happens in mentorship coaching. And that's what happens inside of my academy space. So again, that is the difference. Why do people ask me all the time, like, why is it that some people conquer binge eating much faster than other people? They're not more worthy. They're not better. It's just, they just implement. And it's typically the clients that work with me in close proximity, like I said, in the academy, because I see them every single week. I know them. Like, my academy clients have been working with me, and I know their patterns. And this is the benefit of long-term coaching with me. I know your patterns. So you'll come to me and you'll say one thing. Let's say, for example, you're like, for example, one of my clients, she was like, okay, so it was 9 o'clock at night and I was pretty hungry, so I had leftovers to eat and I was fine. I didn't feel guilty about that. But then I wanted a date with almond butter and chocolate, so I had that. But then there was still some leftover melted dark chocolate, so then I decided to also have some ice cream with it. And she was like, that didn't feel like an urge, but can you explain to me like what that situation was? And I mentored her and I said, that wasn't an urge. That was you getting into the all or nothing mentality where after you had your dinner and then you had the date, then you already said to yourself, well, I probably shouldn't have already had the dates. So then you said, I might as well have the ice cream as well too. So I helped her in that moment actually implement, okay, I can see wisdom. I'm learning from Lorna's wisdom. I'm learning from Lorna's experience. That's mentorship. Now this client knew, oh, okay, yeah, that wasn't an urge. Okay, that was the all or nothing mentality playing out. So now the next time she has the all or nothing mentality, she's going to be more aware. She's going to be able to implement it versus just intellectually knowing like what to do. So I see some hearts. Who else is watching with me? Let me know who else is watching with me. So that is really the biggest difference. It's implementing what you already know. It's implementing the tools that you already know. Having tools in your tool belt is great, but it's not if you don't use them. You know, it's like you can have a broken stove and you have all the tools in your house. But until you actually take out the tools out of your toolbox or you hire Bob the builder and you actually get Bob to fix your stove, you're not going to have a better stove. The stove is still going to be broken. And I'm not saying you're broken, but you got to work on the stove in order for it to operate properly. You actually have to use the tools in your tool belt to rewire your brain to stop binge eating. It's not just, I intellectually know. Everybody knows that you shouldn't give in to your urges. Everybody knows that you should stop when you're full. So you actually need to implement. Get out of the mindset. What's blocking you from actually implementing? And again, I can pull this out so easily. You get on a call with me and I'm like, that's why. You're afraid of actually conquering. You're afraid of letting binge eating go. It's a security blanket. You're thinking that you're depriving yourself by not eating a snack in the night, and that's not restriction. You're not hungry, right? So it's like I can really shift your perspective very easily. And this is why, again, clients in the academy, they're skyrocketing their progress because every single week they're receiving mentorship coaching with me. Hi, Erin. The more plugged in you are, the better. I have clients sometimes in the academy, they'll come onto a call and they're like, I don't really have anything to share, but they share a win. They hear somebody else going through something and the mentorship coaching that I give them, they're like, wow, that was so powerful. They take that, they implement, and they go and implement that for the rest of the week. And then they make progress. So you don't need more tools in your tool belt. You need to implement the tools that you already know. And I had a client that actually just recently, she was in the membership and she upgraded to Conquer. And she said the same thing. She's like, I know what to do. But she's like, there's something holding me back from actually implementing. And I'm like, let's get on more calls. Inside of Conquer, you get more coaching calls as well too. And it's like, let me help you implement. Let's stay in the magic. Let's stay in momentum. And if you're even ready for the next level, like get into the academy. Let me help you break through your limiting beliefs to what's actually preventing you from implementing, because the moment that you implement the tools that you already know is the moment you're going to conquer binge eating so much faster. I've had clients that work with me for 6 months and they go off and conquer. I have clients that work with me for a year, 2 years, and they go and conquer, but it's not like it's not like, oh, if it's taking me longer, then I'm like broken. No, but how can we help you implement the tools that you're already learning? Again, it's not about like, what's a new strategy? What's a new tool? It's let me implement the tools that I know that I need to use. And there's also different tools for different people. So if you are struggling, let's say with nighttime, right? You're like, I can eat super healthy all day, but it's the nighttime. Well, there's going to be different tools that you're going to need to implement compared to somebody else who maybe for them, it's like every time I go to a social event, that's when I tend to overeat. Okay, well, those tools are going to be different than somebody who might be needing some support with nighttime eating. And this is why having customized coaching is so important. So if you resonated with this and you're like, yes, I know what to do, but sometimes I find myself not using the tools and I say one last time, or like I can't figure out, like I know that I should stop eating when I'm full, but sometimes the food's just so good, or I know that I shouldn't eat in secret when my partner leaves the house, but I always just tend to do it. You need a mentor that's going to help you implement the tools that you already know you have. And this is what I do inside of the Academy. So the Academy is now called your Binge Free Life Academy, and it's 6 months. And this is the only program that I provide high-level, personalized mentorship where I will actually help you implement the tools that you already know that you have. I will actually help you implement them so you can actually live out your binge-free life. This is in-the-moment coaching. So again, at 7 o'clock at night, when you're like, oh, like I have this urge, I'll be there to support you. Or you just had a weekend where you went out to eat and maybe you overate, and then on Monday we come back into the coaching container and we talk through, okay, well, tell me exactly what happened. What was your mindset? What was your thoughts? Okay, I can tell you exactly why you overate, and this is what you need to implement next time. This is how you collapse the amount of time that it takes for you to conquer. I hear your situation. Okay, on Wednesday night, I put the kids to bed and I wasn't even hungry. It was 9 o'clock at night. I really wasn't that tired, but I didn't want to go to bed because I felt like I didn't have me time. So I just ended up eating. Okay, I know exactly how to shift that. You are associating me time with eating. You don't know how to just be with yourself. And that's actually a program that I'm going to be running coming up. It's called Permission to Just Be. You've associated relaxation time. Finally, I get time for me. You've associated me time with eating. You don't know how to just be with yourself. So you fill up time, you fill the void with eating. I can shift your mindset so quickly. You don't need more tools. You need mentorship. You need to implement what you actually already know. So if this resonated with you, the Academy is enrolling. It's 6 months, high-level personalized mentorship coaching in a small group, very intimate, where you receive high-level personalized mentorship with me, where you can actually come on, share your specific situations, and I can provide guidance. I can say, this is why you're still giving into your urges. Here's exactly what to do to stop your binge eating, but I'm going to help you actually implement it. When you want to say, oh, but the food is so good, I'll help you shift your mindset. When you say, but I feel like I'm kind of restricting if I leave food on my plate, I'll help you stop feeling restricted and see it from a place of self-love. So we have weekly calls. This is the only program I offer where you get weekly coaching with me. I'm literally in your back pocket. We do monthly breathwork sessions as well too, to really reduce your stress and anxiety, get into your body, be able to process your emotions without turning to food. You get access to Conquer, you get access to all my programs, you get access to the membership. It's basically you get access to all my programs, but the difference is the mentorship coaching. Every single week you're on Zoom with me, you're on fire, you're in momentum, you're feeling excited, you're feeling hopeful, like I can do this, I can conquer. So if this resonates with you and you're like, yes, I know all the things of what to do, and it's so frustrating when I feel like I can't do it or I'm not doing it, I will smack you back into your power. I will help you implement the tools. Message me on my Instagram Academy, and I will send you all of the details. This is for the badass that wants to go straight to the top. I just got off a call with one of my clients, and she was like, yeah, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to conquer binge eating, like I'm going straight to the top. Like I am going to get the highest level of support. I want to be able to ask my questions. I don't want to just like have a course where like I learn something. Like I want you to actually help me implement. I want to change my life. Like I'm ready for that. So if you are ready for high level support, mentorship, you want coaching, you want feedback, customization, come join us inside of your Binge Free Life Academy, where I help you become binge free for life. Okay, you guys. I get so passionate about this because I just know the difference. Like, I've coached so many people at this point, and it's like the people who skyrocket their progress, it's like they clear their limiting beliefs. Like, they step into this identity of like, I am someone who's going to conquer. And when you step into this identity of like, I am someone who's going to conquer, you easily implement the tools. You're like, yes, every urge matters. Me not overeating today, it's gonna add up. It's gonna support me. I'm rewiring my brain. You see, everything is adding up. You have a long-term mindset. And that's how you get there so much faster. So again, if you want to work with me, message me Academy on my Instagram. I'll share all the details. If you are inside of the membership, if you're inside of Conquer and you want to upgrade, people do this all the time. Just message me on my Instagram and I can share what that looks like for you. If you're brand new and you're like, I want to go straight to the top, everything you say resonates, message me Academy and I will see if you're a good fit, and then we can go from there. All right, badasses, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.